Today we're reacting to a channel that I'm surprised I've never reacted to before. It is Redolessence, Steven, who's one of the OGs of fragrance reviewing on YouTube. He is very knowledgeable. He is, as I said, one of the original reviewers on the platform as far as I know. He's been doing this for many years, and I'm very interested to see his very recent video, the top 10 most complimented and longest lasting fragrances for men. This is a month ago, so it'll be interesting to see someone who's so knowledgeable about fragrances give his opinion, his taste. As of right now, it's very recent. Let's watch it together for the first time and see what we think.
Top 10 most complimented and longest lasting fragrances for men. Sometimes we want to put on a fragrance that is not just going to get us compliments, but something that's going to be noticed and that people can perceive on you 5, 6, 8, 10 hours after we apply it.
Yeah, that's a good point, guys. Do you care about the fragrance giving you compliments if it only lasts around 4 hours on your skin? Do you insist that a compliment getter has to be a good performing fragrance, or do you not mind? Some people just reapply throughout the day, for example.
In the number 10 spot, Yves Saint Laurent, MYSLF Parfum. So this fragrance has a lot of orange blossom. You're also going to get vanilla, amber. It's a designer level fragrance. It smells incredible. You want compliments? Forget about it. This one is going to seal the deal.
That's interesting that MYSLF Parfum is featuring on this list because it's, okay, compliment getting, I can understand why that would be the case. It's a straightforward, mass appealing designer. It's sort of like they took the sweet accord, like a bunch of notes from Altair in Parfum de Marly, and just made it its own fragrance. That's how I would describe Le Parfum. It's a minimalist fragrance. It's got orange blossom, a bit of pepper, some citrus, some vanilla, and ambroxan in there. It is the MYSLF Eau de Parfum, the original, but made a bit sweeter with that vanilla. I say it's a good layering fragrance, but it doesn't have the best longevity in my opinion. It's got like 6 hours longevity in my experience. So I'm surprised it's in this list because it's meant to be a long-lasting list. But hey, maybe it's different for everyone's noses, everyone's skin. But yeah, not a bad suggestion. I do think it's not the most interesting fragrance, but it probably will get you compliments.
You know, sometimes it's hard to strike a balance between having a super high compliment factor DNA and also having a fragrance that lasts a long time. By Creed, Absolu Aventus. Now, when it comes to compliments in the House of Creed, I do really well with the original Aventus. Obviously, who doesn't? I do really well with original Santal, and also more recently with the new Delphinus.
Yeah, actually, original Santal is beautiful. Funnily enough, it actually copied Montblanc's, what was the fragrance called? Individual, I forgot the name, the raspberry clean, cheap fragrance, which is very good, by the way. I haven't had it on the channel for a long time, but yeah, they copied that with original Santal. Then Montblanc returned the favor by copying Aventus with Explorer. But hey, good fragrance, as is Delphinus. I feel like that's very underrated. It's sort of like a more grown-up version of Herod, so people should check that fragrance out. A good masculine evening scent.
But if we're talking longevity, Absolu Aventus.
Yeah, Aventus Absolu, I think I got around 10 hours with that fragrance. My 2022 bottle of the original Aventus is pretty lackluster in performance, I've got to be honest with you. But Absolu Aventus is a nice fragrance. It's just very expensive. It's not for everyone. Definitely try before you buy. But it's sort of like the more citrus-focused, oak moss, more heavy, dense, rich version of the original Creed Aventus. The issue I have with Absolu Aventus is that it's sort of solving a problem that it created when they watered down or made too many variations of the original Creed Aventus. Maybe it's changed. Maybe the original Aventus is now better. I know Creed as a brand has changed ownership several times now over the years, I believe. So I don't know who owns it anymore. So whoever owns it, you know, good luck. I hope the new batches of Creed Aventus are better. Absolu Aventus is for those who I think are die-hard fans. It's not necessarily for everyone. Definitely try first. 37.9% of people who watch School of Scent are subscribed to us. If you guys really want to see our channel grow, go ahead and click subscribe. Let's get that number to 40%. Thank you.
We also have Vivamor by Navitus Parfum. So this fragrance is kind of like a hybrid between Creed Aventus and Baccarat Rouge by Maison Francis Kurkdjian. Yeah, so it has that sweet ethyl maltyl sugary amberwood dry down, but it also has that bright sparkling effervescent pineapple opening. Huge compliment getter. I mean, the compliments that I've gotten from this one, forget about it. It's an amazing fragrance.
Interesting. So this is Creed Aventus mixed with Baccarat Rouge. I haven't tried this fragrance, to be honest with you, but I have tried Afnan's 9 PM Rebel, which to my nose seems like it is a mixture of Baccarat Rouge and Creed Aventus also. To me, that fragrance was a bit clumsy when you smell it up close, but in the air, I could see getting compliments for you. It's quite a good projector. So I know this is not really related to this fragrance. It's kind of related, but it's going off on a tangent, but all I can talk about right now is 9 PM Rebel. It's an interesting idea. I don't think the ideas meld together very well. I think there's a bit of confusion, a bit of clashing there, but I do think, again, that fragrance has pretty good projection, 9 p.m. Rebel. I think it will get you compliments. It's quite versatile as well. I ended up giving it a 7.5 out of 10. I personally prefer Collector's Edition Supremacy by Afnan, but you can try 9 p.m. Rebel if you want to explore this idea as well.
We also have Bleu de Chanel Parfum. Now, if you're gonna go with Bleu de Chanel, which by the way, no matter which Bleu de Chanel you go with, is gonna be a huge compliment getter. Great office fragrance, super professional smelling, very clean, well groomed. I mean, you're just gonna smell like a very well put together gentleman.
Yeah, the Parfum is the best concentration of Bleu de Chanel, but again, similar to Aventus Absolu, I would say for that price, it's gonna be for the guys who are die-hard fans of Bleu de Chanel. So if I finish my bottle of Eau de Parfum, I would go get the Parfum next. I do think though, for beginners, most of the times I'm going to recommend the Eau de Parfum. It kind of has a balance of everything out of the 3 versions, but as Steven says, they're all very similar to each other at the end of the day. But the Parfum, you definitely can tell it's the best quality and the longest lasting. I got around 12 hours with Bleu de Chanel Parfum.
If you love citrus, just something very bright, upbeat, but also clean and professional smelling, this is one of Clive Christian's best. I'm gonna be honest with you. Town and Country. Phenomenal fragrance, ambergris, woods, is just a well put together, sharp, refined, clean, citrusy fragrance. It smells really, really good.
Okay, Clive Christian Town and Country. I've never heard of this fragrance. I haven't really experienced, have I smelled any Clive Christians? I think I've smelled them in store. I really need to explore the brand more. Should I do a buying guide potentially, guys? But the notes here for Town and Country are clary sage, ambergris, and sandalwood. So this could be like a Tigar-esque kind of appeal, similar to how Tigar is quite a simple fragrance, but very mass appealing. This, ambergris can be a very nice molecule you smell in the air. Generally, highly focused ambergris fragrances are going to be quite good compliment getters, hence why Baccarat Rouge works, hence why Green Irish Tweed will work. Ambroxan is a replication of ambergris, hence why Dior Sauvage works. This looks like a simple, classy, expensive probably fragrance that seems to have good longevity and good sillage as well. So yeah, seems interesting. Maybe I should check this fragrance out. Have you guys smelled this fragrance?
Now let me give you another fragrance that smells similar to it, but perhaps with more citrus. This is the brand new Supersonic by Terence Hughes. Now I know this brand is based out of the UK. It's actually my scent of the day today. I know it's kind of hard to find just because people always talk about having a hard time finding ATH products. But this one, if you can get your hands on it, if you like Supernova, you're gonna love Supersonic, right? They're close cousins. It's amazing. Love the citrus in it. Huge compliment getter.
I feel like a lot of Aaron's work will get you compliments because he uses thick concentrations, really high concentration fragrances, beastly projection. He does very nice blends as well. Supersonic, I believe I have tried a sample of it. To me, off the top of my head, it smells like a mixture of Supernova, like Steven mentioned, as well as Blue Fever. So it's sort of like a Blue / Aventus mixed together. It's citrusy, ambroxan based, good projection, quite bright, easy to wear, and very likely, I can't remember now, but it probably is a beastly fragrance to wear because Aaron's stuff is generally always beastly. So yeah, I will vouch more for Supernova. That's his more Aventus style fragrance, but Supersonic is probably also going to get you compliments and it's probably going to last a long time also.
Hacivat by Nishane. Wow. This fragrance is a smoky pineapple. Smoky citrus, it has that birch tar ingredient in here. If you like fragrances like Creed Aventus, and you haven't tried Hacivat, this is the more mysterious version of Creed Aventus.
Hacivat I would describe as a more fruity version of Creed Aventus, more focused on the pineapple, and they've added a very dense, intense, more mature, masculine smelling oak moss. Oak moss and pineapple are all that this fragrance is about. Not all that it's about, but it's like they're the main stars, and it's a beastly fragrance. It's a freshie that lasts over 14 hours from the last sample I tried. It's versatile. It's Creed Aventus grown up a bit more worth the money as well, in my opinion. I completely agree. This is a freshie that's beastly, long-lasting, and is very likely to get you compliments.
All right, number 3 spot. Anything from this brand, phenomenal longevity. Mancera. Mancera fragrances last a very, very long time. Cedrat, right? So this one is a musky citrus fragrance. Absolutely amazing, super long lasting.
So the original Cedrat Boise is a legend. It's a great fragrance. It's actually one of my most complimented fragrances, the original batch, the strong stuff. It's honestly really, really strong for compliments. I prefer Cedrat Boise Intense, although I don't have as much experience with compliments with that fragrance. I just think it's a better blended scent. I think Mancera just get better as time goes along. Not all this stuff lasts a very long time, in my opinion. They do have some stuff that actually has quite disappointing longevity, but more often than not, yes, Mancera will give you longevity and will often give you good compliments also. If you want a smoky, citrus, woody, signature, sort of like a fragrance collector's version of the Dior Sauvage. It's sort of like a similar scent family. They're not clones at all, but it's a similar function, similar kind of family. Then go for Cedrat Boise Intense. At least sample it. Sample the original and the Intense, see which one you prefer.
All right, so here's the thing. I was kind of tossed up between the original Layton by Parfum de Marly and also Layton Exclusive, which is right here. Layton Exclusive is great. Huge compliment getter for me at least, but it does have the civet and the agarwood and the dry down, so I know it's not going to cater to everybody's taste. The best selling fragrance from Parfum de Marly 100% is Layton. It's a bestseller because it smells amazing. It's a great playful fragrance, great for a date night. It has the apple, it has the vanilla, a little bit of lavender as well. Mandarin, violet, jasmine, geranium, guaiac wood, cardamom, pepper, santal. It's an amazing fragrance.
Yeah, Layton Exclusive is beautiful, but it's more for yourself than other people most likely. It can be a little bit polarizing with the animalic oud in there. It has a nice coffee note as well, so I think Layton itself becomes less versatile, more of a special occasion fragrance, a bit more interesting, let's say, with that coffee and oud notes in there. Sort of like a gourmand animalic oud fragrance, which is quite interesting. But Layton, yes, it's still worth buying in 2025, in my opinion. I don't think I've experienced a clone that completely replaces it. There probably are plenty of solid clones for it, but to myself, in my experience so far, it still hasn't become redundant. It's still a top seller in the brand for a reason. I still recommend it, and yes, I agree. Long-lasting compliment getter.
Anything you get from this brand, like Terence Hughes, like Mancera, anything you get from this brand is going to give you exceptional longevity. But if you want to prioritize compliments, please check this one out. By the brand Amouage, based out of Oman. This one is called Reflection for Men. Let me know, what are your most complimented fragrances that have exquisite longevity?
Oh, that's a shame. He didn't really talk about Reflection Man at all. Reflection Man is sort of like they took the original Jean-Paul Gaultier Le Male, made a niche, made it less focused on vanilla, made it more focused on white florals and sandalwood. It's like a fresh, bright, white floral sandalwood fragrance for men with a hint of sweetness from the airy vanilla. It's sort of more of like a spring and summertime signature, but you can wear it in the autumn time as well. It's a bestseller from the brand. I kind of don't like it that much. It's not my style, but I can still objectively maybe give it a 10 out of 10 actually still, because it does everything correctly. It's just not to my subjective taste. I think I remember getting around 8 to 10 hours in my bottle. It's versatile, it's worth the money, but probably sample it first and see if it's for you, see if you like that style.
Thanks again for watching. I love you all, and we'll see you tomorrow with a new episode.
And that concludes Steven's video. I think Steven has impeccable taste. He obviously has a lot of experience with fragrances. What are your thoughts on the choices he made today? Do you agree or disagree? Of course, as always, guys, we've done a lot of cuts to the original video in this reaction over here. So we leave the original video if you want to watch that in the video description down below. And go ahead and subscribe to Steven Redolessence as well if you guys want to do that. Let us know in the comments down below, guys, what are your most complimented fragrances that also have excellent longevity. If you guys enjoyed this video, make sure to check out our recent video where I react to Finn FB fragrances up here. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.